That's well, you know what's weird is I've seen basketball and like it's like that movie. Somebody was like, "Yeah, it's the creators of South Park. It's gonna be great." And then I watched it and I was like, like it's not great, but it was watchable. It was almost funny to see something that somebody that's that famous from making show like what their earlier work was.
Yeah, I mean, but the early seasons of South Park are actually pretty fucking funny still.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But basketball, I would say, I don't know, if you're just a huge fan of all the stuff that they make, like, just go ahead and watch it. It's not, it's
not a bad movie.
It's not any worse than like shitty like early thousands comedy movies. Like, I don't know, Dodgeball wasn't too bad either, but it's one of those types of movies, you know.
Oh, I like Dodgeball.
Yeah, I mean, Dodgeball's all right, but I'm saying like basketball, it's like the '90s version of something like that.
That's true.
Or even
I like that they invented a sport for it.
There actually was a basketball movie with Will Ferrell. Remember?
Oh yeah, I do.
So it was kind of like in that vein, but obviously it came out.
What was that movie?
10 years earlier.
Basketball, Will Ferrell, Semi-Pro. Yeah, that's what it was.
I think I've seen most of that, and I remember thinking it was funny.
Oh man, that came out like when I was graduating high school.
At 2008. Okay. Yeah, so that's obviously like at least 10 years older than basketball, I would think.
I can see why it didn't do well.
Why is that?
Oh, no reason.
Wait, what are the scores that it got?
Oh, like on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, 22 on Rotten Tomatoes. 82%.
Pretty good.
Doesn't it seem like every time we look at the Google users, it's 82%?
Yeah.
Every fucking time.
For some reason, yeah.
Maybe everything like
everything
evens out to an 82.
Yeah, it's averaged.
Every single movie. There's always going to be critics, and there's always going to be people who love it.
Yep. Well, that makes sense because 82% is definitely not the average of 5.8, 22%, and 47%.
Well, no, I just mean like as a group think, it like averages out to, because a lot of people are stupid, Ryan, you see, but we're not stupid here on
People
We'll also search for
the podcast where we answer life's greatest questions by searching the internet. And you know what? You know what time it is, Jacob?
Time to introduce today's topic, Ryan. Is that where you were going with that?
Yeah. Well, sort of. I mean, watches tell time, man.
Oh. Yep, they sure do.
What?
Watches tell time.
What else would you use a watch
Not
for?
broken watches, though, Ryan. A little bit of dad humor there for you.
Thanks, Jacob.
Watches tell time. I get it, because it's true.
Yeah, it's 100% true. But, like, who invented the watch? Who invented the system of time? What is time?
The ancients.
The ancients?
The ancients, Tony. There was a time before time, you see, when time was not even a human construct.
What? Well, did the sun invent time? Because it spins around the earth, and then that's how time was invented, right?
I don't think time was invented.
What is the first way time was recorded?
Oh, recorded.
Yeah.
That's not what you were saying.
I want to know. Oh, here we go. This is exactly what we wanted, Jacob. History of timekeeping devices.
Okay, you started off very broad by saying when was time invented, or like.
And look where we got. We got to exactly where we wanted.
This is timekeeping devices.
Yeah, which is what is a watch but a timekeeping device?
Okay, I'm just saying that you leapt pretty far forward after I was revealing that time is just time is whatever you make of it, essentially. Like, it only exists when it's thought about.
That's
right?
true. Well, it's that's true.
I mean, I guess like
I'd say the changing of anything makes you feel like time has gone by. Like the changing of the visuals, like day to night, or
No, yeah, that's just a way of like timekeeping.
Mm-hmm.
So you already like, because time was obviously always measured in different increments. Like now we have it, pinned down to it's 365 days in a year.
True. Yeah.
Like I'm sure even like ancient people that were like hunter and gatherers, they probably saw the sun go up and the sun go down. They're like, they just called that
like
cycle.
end.
They just called the whole cycle between sunset and sunrise like a day.
Yeah, and then it just kept for the rest of time.
Yeah, but they didn't necessarily know what seconds were.
No,
They didn't think like 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
4,
that's
5.
a construct.
Oh, that's those are seconds, and then 60 of those that didn't exist.
Yeah.
Obviously the time when people started first figuring out ways to observe time's passage, that's when it started being recorded, or well, not necessarily recorded, but kept. Like they keep time,
Yeah.
So
I guess really we are all just keeping time because we're just keeping the time that we've had with ourselves.
I mean, you could get more like quantum about it and be like, time for the universe is from the beginning of the universe until its eventual end.
Yeah, which we don't know when that's going to be.
Or if it will necessarily end. Like,
yeah.
I mean, I've heard scientists say that everything in the universe will keep drifting apart until everything is stopped. Like nothing's gravity is affecting anything else. It'd just be like a floating junkyard with nothing with gravity, and everything's just like still, dead and cold.
Sounds great.
It doesn't necessarily mean that like all the celestial bodies will like go away.
Yeah, they'll still be there. They'll just be dead and cold.
Yeah. And does that mean the end of the universe? Because who knows? Well, you can't really put a definition of the time of the universe.
Life might come from the death and cold. Things might adapt,
Things might adapt.
Yeah.
Just like humans' methods of timekeeping adapted once we got a little bit more sophisticated. And we're going to look at the history of timekeeping on our good friend Wikipedia, of course.
Oh, I like how this is starting, man.
For thousands of years, devices have been used to measure and keep track of time. The current sexagesimal system of time measurement dates to approximately 2000 BC from the Sumerians. Did I say, is that...
Sexagesimal?
Okay.
Sexagesimal. Yeah, what's funny is as soon as we went to this page, I saw that, like, my eyes just immediately, of all the words on Wikipedia, immediately went to sexagesimal.
Of course it did, Ryan.
Yeah. I was just like, what is that?
Tell me about that sexagesimal system.
Oh, here we go. Sexagesimal is a numerical system with 60 as its base. It's originated with the ancient Sumerians in the 3rd millennium BC and was passed down to the ancient Babylonians and is still used in a modified form for measuring time, angles, and geographic coordinates. Oh, dude, we're still using sexagesimal system.
Yeah.
Nice.
The Egyptians divided the day into 12-hour periods, wink, and used large obelisks to track the movement of the sun. They also developed water clocks, which were probably first used in the precinct of Amun-Re, and later outside Egypt as well. They were employed frequently by Persians and the ancient Greeks, who called them Sisaphidrae. The Zhou dynasty is believed to have used the outflow water clock around the same time, devices which were introduced from Mesopotamia as early as 2000 BC. So that's some ancient time there, Ryan.
Yeah.
But it is, in essence, the same sort of timekeeping system that we use to this very day.
Wow.
I never knew that.
Water clock is a weird looking thing, man. That's not what I was thinking it would look like.
That big fat water clock.
It's either a water clock or a clepsydra. That's the.
Oh, is that an LCL? Oh,
Yeah,
clepsydra.
That's another name for it.
Oh yeah, I mispronounced it when I read it earlier.
It's a timepiece by which time is measured by the regulated flow of liquid into or out from a vessel, and where the amount is then measured. Oh, so it's basically just like water falling out of a cup and filling something else up.
Yeah, I mean, similar to like an hourglass.
Yeah.
It almost seems like it'd be more of like a stopwatch in a way, whereas like that's not like a calendar.
Yeah, like unless you like were really on timing with when you filled this and when it ended, like multiple times during the day, you wouldn't be able to keep track of anything during the day with this. This is like an egg timer. Like if you were like throwing a big piece of like bacon and into a pan and cooking it up, like you could use this to know like, okay, the bacon's been cooking for 2 minutes.
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah.
Or an hourglass, which
seems like the superior of the two methods in my opinion.
And if it's an appropriate size, I would assume it measures an hour, hence the name.
Yeah.
Because if you have like like in a game, like in a board game, there will be like the tiny little sand timer.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people would be misusing the word hourglass when they call the little sand timer an hourglass.
Yeah, because it's not measuring an hour.
It's measuring like 25 seconds
25
or something.
30 seconds, yeah. And they probably have it like measured out some way where they know it's like, okay, this needs to take 60 seconds, so it'll be like, that's an hourglass, but for 60 seconds with the sand. Man, an actual hourglass must be huge.
I think they're about maybe up to 2 feet tall. Like they are pretty big, I guess.
That's true. 2 feet tall. That's a lot of sand.
Just Google how big is an hourglass.
Yeah, but we need to put how big.
How long is an hourglass?
How big is a real hourglass? Because we don't want like a minute hourglass. We want a real hourglass. Okay. Oh, I mean, how accurate is an hourglass? It's probably perfectly accurate.
It says up there, it says,
yeah.
After the design is finalized, actual construction of the hourglass is relatively straightforward. Sand clock designs can also vary considerably in size. The smallest known hourglass are the size of a cufflink, and the largest are up to 3 feet or 1 meter tall.
Gotcha. So it's probably just like the little hole.
Although it says the smallest known hourglass are the size of a cufflink.
Yeah,
so
that's small.
That can't be an actual hourglass then. Well, or is hourglass just a generic word? Oh, let's see here. Hourglass or sandglass?
Sand timer, sand clock, or egg timer? Why would you call it an egg timer?
Because maybe you only need a 2-minute long one, so I don't know. Is a device used to measure the passage of time. It comprises of 2 glass bulbs connected vertically by a narrow neck that allows a regulated flow of a substance, typically sand, from the upper bulb to the lower. Typically, the upper and lower bulbs are symmetric, so the hourglass will measure the same duration regardless of orientation. Specific duration of time a given hourglass measures is determined by factors including the quantity and coarseness of the particulate matter, the bulb size, and the neck width. So, I mean, it sounds like hourglass is just a generic term for a sand timer.
Yeah.
Anything. So I guess you could call a little toy board game timer an hourglass,
Yeah,
I guess.
Could. Dude, I was just thinking, like, no, you're going to have to go with me on this. This would be the most amazing clock ever. Take 12 gigantic, like, 3-foot hourglasses and then put them all in a row and have, like, a mechanism that flips them. So, like, when the first one's flipped, like, that's the first hour, and then it goes all the way up to 12, like, as soon as one ends. and then like when they're one way or the other way, you can tell if it's like AM or PM. That would be badass looking. That would be so cool. That's the clock that I want to have in my house. Like, fuck my cell phone. I want 12 3-foot hourglasses.
I feel like the thing would have to
upside down.
It would have to be like 12 feet wide.
Yeah, it'd be like this gigantic like hourglass sculpture where it's like telling time.
Well, you know, you have the capabilities to actually make such a thing happen. So,
oh man,
let me know.
I wanna do that.
Let me know when it's done.
We'll do. I'll put it right in the back with the windmill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The giant
windmill.
90-foot windmill.
With the giant hourglass.
Powers the utility cave, man.
Yeah, powers the cave. And you know what? It's about to power the giant hourglass clock that's going to be built in the backyard here.
I could just imagine if you did have your...
Gothic style.
If you had like your 12 hourglass like fucking sand timer machine but then also you have a bunch of like anime and hentai shit everywhere.
Why? Outside in the backyard?
And so
there's
like
just sculptures of anime girls.
It's like anime and steampunk and shit.
Anime. It's like like the side of a building in Rome or something, but it's got anime girls and steampunk.
They have
giraffes.
They have like stuff from a fucking scrapyard like that makes their clothes, and they have goggles and shit. It's like Mad.
They'll have like
you'd be
ties
the fucking
made of like car tires and stuff.
Yeah, you'll be the fucking Jules Verne of Weebs up in this shit, man.
Yeah, I'll be like, hey baby, you want to come over?
Welcome to my palace.
You'll be amazed by what I got in my backyard.
They just like, is that a fucking windmill? You see, I use only renewable energy. I'm trying to be green and save the earth.
I don't even use a digital clock because I don't want battery acid to...
And they go to look at the windmill and they're like, whoa, there's a fucking 80 dead birds out here. Oh my god, you fucking monster.
Why are there so many cardinals out here? It's disgusting.
And they run back into the house and you're just like, are you prepared for dinner? And it's like clearly just a dead bird that's been roasted. You're just
that's disgusting.
Cooking a bunch of fucking dead birds on a spit over your stove.
I installed a bunch of like spikes in the ground so when the cardinals fall from the sky, they just get skewered and then you just start a fire and roast them.
You have a fucking like 1700s Franklin stove, like a cast iron stove in your kitchen, like where the refrigerator used to be, and there's just a bunch of dead birds fucking cooking in there.
Yeah, man, making meat pies.
You got a bunch of like unnecessary cogs spinning everywhere on your walls.
What is this? My house like a steampunk horror?
Yeah, but instead of like Halloween decorations on the front lawn, it's just like full size anime replicas of like where they're holding guns and like wearing metal like flak
One of them
jackets
has a
and
suit
shit.
of armor, but they have the hood open and it's an anime girl's face. They have like a fucking hellbird like guarding the entrance to the house.
Welcome to my palace.
Yeah,
you just turn into some weird fucking character guy with a big ass mustache,
and a top hat
and a cane. You're like the Willy Wonka of fucking steampunk
everything
and
is
anime.
Striped. Like all the clothes would be striped.
I feel
bright
like
colors.
I feel like if you did that, it would like you could slot into that like so easily with your personality.
Oh yeah, it would be so easy.
And then I
might do it.
You could turn into that like weird guy in Pittsburgh. I think his name's like Randy or something, and you can like go see his weird wonder world of fucking shit.
I'm gonna type in weird Randy's wonder world.
Weird Randy's Wonder World.
Pittsburgh.
Oh man,
it
auto-filled.
Really? Randyland.
Randyland. Dude, that's it.
I can't believe we found it. Oh, we gotta look up Randyland.
He's just like an eclectic guy that made his property into like an art installation. Like, oh look, some used bicycle frames from 1902.
What the heck, dude? This guy looks awesome.
He has paint literally all over him.
Yeah. in all different colors. This is
Just
awesome.
buy some new clothes
Dude,
already.
how could you not want to go to Randyland? There's map of the North Side, outdoor murals, the mural wall, psychedelic staircase. Man, I want to go to psychedelic staircase.
And if you pay extra, Randy will touch you.
Oh man, don't say that. Randy looks like a fine gentleman. But I mean,
Sorry, Randy.
yeah,
Nothing personal.
nothing personal, Randy. It's fine. Okay, so this looks like a fun place to visit.
Just immediately when you walk right through the threshold, he just pops out behind like a corner and he's like, "Welcome to Randyland."
You want to go to the psychedelic staircase and get high?
Oh my goodness.
He probably is, he's...
Gift shop.
Yeah, I kind of want to see what's in the Randyland gift shop real quick. Oh. Okay, you get a Randyland phone case, man.
Some of his artwork reminds me of like... What's that
The
dude?
walls at Taco Bell.
Yeah, or like...
It really does.
Or like the designs on like a brisk iced tea bottle.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, or like when they're trying to have like an avant-garde like Arizona iced tea can.
I was going to say some of the ones that have like figures like look kind of like that Keith Haring guy that makes a little fucking like dog outline thing.
And he did like artwork in the subways, right?
Yeah,
Graffiti.
from in like the late 80s and early 90s, I think.
Yep. I like that, guys. I don't know who's better though, him or Randyland. Probably Randyland. Well,
I'm sure you would think that, Ryan.
Nah. Keith Haring's a good dude. I remember liking him.
Yeah, he's fine. What artist do you like, Ryan?
What artist do I like?
Yeah, like I don't know. Do
Salvador
you like
Dali?
Oh man, that was great. That was like the most generic answer you could have ever.
That's
given.
what I was like. But other artists that
My favorite artist is Pablo Picasso.
I like Ron Muke.
Oh, there you go.
Ron Muke's good.
That's a bit of a
Frederick Hart's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I forget a lot of fine art stuff that I used to be into. I like more people that do like illustrative stuff and don't necessarily do, I don't know. I would say they're more in like a pop surrealism vein or like almost in a cartoonish type of vibe.
Do you like the famous street artist guys? Like Banksy? Or like,
No.
What about like Invader? Have you seen Invader?
No.
Dude.
I don't know much about street art, Ryan.
He makes
I'm not out there in the streets. I'm sitting in my
collages,
in my tiny bedroom in downtown Cincinnati with a Wacom
Dude,
tablet.
I bet there's an Invader in Cincinnati. They're like these.
Oh, there's always invaders in Cincinnati.
And a lot of them you don't want to come in contact with. Yeah, but no, Invader. He makes like collages. They're like the Invader. Oh God. They're like the Space Invaders from that video game, like the 8-bit Space Invaders, but they're made out of like tiles, like a collage or a mosaic. Mosaic. That's the right way to say it.
Oh.
Invader in Cincinnati.
That like totally changed. When you said street art, I was thinking of like graffiti. So it's not paint even. It's just
it's
ceramic tiles.
Yeah.
Cool.
And they're all over the place, man.
That's really cool.
Oh man, you know what? I don't think there's one in Cincinnati.
You gotta go to Google Images, dog.
Invader in Cincinnati. I'm gonna type in street art because we're getting some weird results.
You should have just started out with
Yeah, it's like this type of thing. This is what he does.
Pixel art.
Yeah, it's pixel art, but made
it's
out
big
of tile.
because it's tiles. Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of them are small too, but it's what he do.
That's what he do.
Yeah.
What about that one? It looks like it's inside of a place.
This?
No, the one above it.
This?
No, that's outside.
It's Spock.
It's Spock holding his hand up, ostensibly doing the live long and prosper hand gesture. And then there's also like is that an enemy from Space Invaders?
Yeah,
in the
that's
sky?
that's why his name's Invader. He
Well, yeah,
started with all these-
I couldn't place the actual creature. I was trying to remember what it was.
Yeah.
Great.
Not your thing.
Actually, one of my favorite artists does street art as well, but he uses spray paint and acrylic paint to make pretty badass murals. His name's Jeff Soto. Oh, there's a Sonic one there.
Yeah,
Ryan likes Sonic.
I do. Sonic's awesome.
I like Sonic's design from like the original games, but that's about as far as my love for Sonic goes. I don't really like the games.
Have you played the original games?
A little bit. I didn't have Sega, and I didn't play it enough to get good at controlling him, so I just thought it was like too fast and like you know, sporadic or whatever. So I was just like,
could see that.
And then by the time I was like a teenager and into a young adult, I started being aware of like the deep dark history of like fan art and OCs and like
oh yeah, where
and
the
then
Sonic
I just
community thrives.
and then
and
then of course finding out about Chris Chan and stuff, and then I started being like, ugh, I don't even want to give Sonic a chance anymore. Like, he kind of ruined Sonic in a way.
In a way, yeah.
I mean, he didn't start that shit.
No, the Sonic fan base, like, turned into a weird, like, subgenre where people were, like, doing, like, fan art. It's because of, you know why?
It's super internet.
It's because of the Sonic cartoons that they made back in the day where they, like, sexualized the female characters in the show.
That's probably true, because...
And then people grew up with that. I mean, I grew up with that.
I mean, I like, when I was in my young teenage years, I didn't, like, get super into internet culture at all. Like, I didn't, like, shy away from it. Like, I used it more as a utility of, like, if I wanted to learn something, or if I needed to print out a picture of a Dragon Ball Z character that I could sketch or something like that. Like, yeah. I never, like, got into, like, the forums type of stuff, or like the super, like, I don't know what the equivalent of like Reddit would have been back in the day, like maybe 4chan. No, 4chan's not that old. Like, I don't think it was around.
It would have just been like a random. They had all kinds of different forums.
Yeah, but I didn't get into.
I wasn't a forum guy either.
I didn't get into any of that stuff, so I didn't really know about like internet culture stuff until I was like easily like in my early 20s. Because I don't know. It's not. I don't love being attached to like the internet and like always having to interact with people. Like, I don't even play interactive like online games, because I just don't
like that.
I just don't even want to deal with the pressure of like interacting with real people that I can't even see or talk to.
Well, you can talk to them if you have a headset. I mean,
yeah, if you choose to do that, which I wouldn't. Like,
oh man, that's fun talking to random people on there. Everybody just talks shit all the time.
I know, but it's like, you know that it's mostly gonna be like people between the ages of like 11 to like 20, and they're all just gonna be the worst people ever.
That's true.
Maybe getting up into even like, I don't know, because people that are our age that grew up with video games, they did that when it came out and they're still doing it. So you probably do have some people that are 30s, maybe mid 30s at the most. Sure. But you know, those types of people that like are obsessed with playing games and playing online games, they're not up to any good if they're interacting with a bunch of kids, you know, like 20-year-olds or 14-year-olds. Like,
that's true. I mean, they might not talk to them, or they might just have their headset in, and then if some other person that's that old, they happen to, or I
don't know. Like, I feel like if you're 33 years old and you're playing like Call of Duty and like talking to all the people on there and be like, oh fuck yeah, bro, like that kind of shit, like saying the F slur and every fucking terrible like vitriol you could think of. Like, if you're that old, the only reason you're going into that environment is because you like being part of it.
Yeah.
So why?
That's
like,
true.
You know, I would just opt out from the beginning to interact with people. I would just play the game.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's partially just like communicating with other people, though. Like,
no, yeah,
so
I
you
know.
can tell them what to do. Or where
if you played like SOCOM or some shit, the people playing that are probably like serious. Like, they're coming up with handles and like like codes and stuff. Like, they actually get into the tactical side of it. So I mean, I guess that's okay. But I feel like Call of Duty and shit, like, that's probably just a bunch of like 16-year-olds like calling each other,
true.
Bad words,
Yeah.
None of which will ever be mentioned here on People Also Search For.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we're not. We're not.
We're really PC.
We're juvenile, but we're not that juvenile.
Oh yeah, we're pretty juvenile though.
We're just juvenile in the peepees and butts sense of the word.
I suppose. I suppose.
Yeah, not the really bad words.
We know the words. We just don't use them here. We're familiar with culture.
Oh man.
We're also familiar with time.
Reddit is a pretty bad place. I just got to circle back around.
Really?
And mention
Is
that.
it? I went on there briefly, and I've had some good conversations on there with people that
I feel like if you're going somewhere and like looking for something that's constructive, like people that like are talking about how to fix cars or like fix a computer or like how to beat a video game. There's probably a lot of, but like most of the just like random shit that's on Reddit, it's just like a bunch of people just wasting their time and saying filthy shit and so like poisoning the fucking society with all their
the youths of America. They're poisoning the youths.
And a lot of them are the youths, Ryan. The youth are starting to change. The youth are starting to change. Together, the youth.
They're starting to change. Oh man, MGMT.
So, anyways, we went off on a little bit of a path. Although I didn't tell you what my favorite artist is. I mentioned his name, Jeff Soto. He makes like big fucking badass outdoor murals, and like makes like limited run like sculptural toys or like I don't know prints and stuff. Oh. Pretty sick, nasty shit.
That's some pretty cool stuff right there.
He's done a lot of like bands, album artworks too. So pretty cool guy. I would say he's definitely one of my favorites. But it's not like he doesn't make. I don't know. I'm sure he's had like lots of gallery shows and stuff. But this isn't like your classical type of art like Max Ernst or some like postmodernist person. I don't know.
He's more of like a pop. Well, I
like pop surrealism.
Pop surrealist artist. He's not really a fine artist.
He fine.
He a
fine artist.
Is he fine or is he a fine
It's
artist?
weird because I remember like I used to have like a huge long list of a bunch of artists that I liked when I was like going through college and stuff.
Yeah, I still have that list. But
I mean, I do like
I don't remember.
I do to some extent, but I just mean like I could tell you like 10 to 15 of my favorite artists right off the bat. Where now I'm just like, oh yeah, there's like I'd have to look at my Instagram to remember who the artists are that I like. That kind of shit.
You don't talk about it as much. Well, once you're out of art school, you don't really talk about art nearly as much.
No,
you're
and
constantly going to galleries or something.
Yeah, and a lot of the times, like especially now, like all through the pandemic and stuff, like people probably weren't going to art galleries and stuff. Like, I mean, most people are just seeing art like on Instagram. So I see mostly people that do like illustrative stuff or like like fan art or like original characters.
A storm is coming.
It's a spooky October night, and it's almost Halloween.
Lightning struck out the window.
I've been murdered!
Wait, isn't it past Halloween right now for this?
Oh, in the for the listeners, yes. Halloween has already come and gone. And
I'm sure you have a lot of candy to snack on while you're listening to this podcast.
Yeah.
From your trick-or-treating adventures.
Maybe some Sixlets, or maybe a Twix bar.
Maybe.
Or even a Payday. Imagine that, Ryan. A Payday.
Oh, or a Reese cup. Yeah.
Yes, Ryan, a Reese's cup indeed. And we're going to get into the soft, peanut buttery center of our topic today. We diverted a little bit away from time and timekeeping, but we're coming right back because the real topic is watches specifically, right, Ryan?
Yeah. I wanted to see where they came from.
Take us back to the history of timekeeping devices on Wikipedia there. And it says the first mechanical clocks employing the verge escapement mechanism with a foliot or balance wheel timekeeper, were invented in Europe at around the start of the 14th century and became the standard timekeeping device until the pendulum clock was invented in 1656. The invention of the mainspring in the early 15th century allowed portable clocks to be built, evolving into the first pocket watches by the 17th century. But these were not very accurate until the balance spring was added to the balance wheel in the mid-17th century. So we're looking about 1650 1650 around there when we actually had as a human race
a watch,
an accurate watch or pocket watch. It didn't necessarily say that it was a wristwatch.
Yeah. So are those like the ones where they had them on the chains and you would have them in your front pocket of your vest and you'd have like a big curly mustache and a cane?
I mean, I'm sure they look...
Yeah, kind of like what would be outside of my house with an anime girl's face on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Tank Girl meets...
like Romeo
like Jules Verne meets whatever anime show... Clan Ad, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think that's an anime show.
That's the greatest anime show of all time.
I know, that's Ryan's favorite.
Yeah.
The pendulum clock remained the most accurate until the 1930s. Oh, how about that, Ryan? That's pretty recent. When quartz oscillators were invented, followed by atomic clocks after World War II. Although initially limited to laboratories, the development of microelectronics in the 1960s made quartz clocks both compact and cheap to produce. And by the 1980s, they became the world's dominant timekeeping technology in both clocks and wristwatches. Atomic clocks are far more accurate than any previous timekeeping device and used to calibrate, that is, other clocks and to calculate the International Atomic Time, a standardized civil system. Coordinated universal time is based on atomic time. Dang. Thanks, Adams.
I feel like microelectronics is something they would use to advertise a novelty watch, or
like
something.
In the 80s,
like in the 80s,
a sick guitar solo, like blistering with some checkerboard pattern behind it. It's like now featuring microelectronics.
Yeah, exactly.
Buy your Masters of the Universe wristwatch now.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking of. Like that, there's no other word that you would see advertising a watch like that besides
radical.
Yeah, radical. It's got microelectronics.
Yeah.
It's got blast processing.
Wow. Get your limited edition Mountain Dew wristwatch now. Only 3 easy payments in $19.99.
Or you could win one by buying a specialty meal at Taco Bell.
So let's go specifically to watches. Yeah. Also, we didn't even touch on sundials, which everyone knows what a fucking sundial is. It's just a fucking thing in the ground that casts a shadow.
But it probably was more accurate than a lot of those earlier versions of timekeeping. Like, I feel like a sundial is more accurate than an hourglass.
That they didn't have hourglasses back then. They had sundials.
True. Wristwatch.
I'll let you take some of this one there, Ryan.
Oh, okay. So a wristwatch is the concept of a wristwatch goes back to the production of the very earliest watches in the 16th century. Elizabeth I of England received a wristwatch from Robert Dudley in 1571, described as an arm watch. Okay.
It takes your whole arm.
Yeah, it's like the technology hasn't.
It's like a leather gauntlet, like steampunk gauntlet with like buckles and shit everywhere.
There's gears all around it that control the watches.
Oh yeah, like cogs all up and down. Oh, let's start you up here.
It's got a crank on it. You have to like crank it to power it.
Steady on, Queen Elizabeth. Oh, it's gonna hurt me. You snapped my elbow. It's like
my hair's caught in the gears.
steam powered and shit.
Yeah. Oh, it's got a big like exhaust on the side of it. It shoots steam out every time, like
Whoa,
every hour on the hour.
Whoa, do you have a bionic arm? Nope, it's just my arm watch.
Oh man.
You got to do that, Ryan. You got to be the Randyland of fucking steampunk waifus. That's what you can call it. Welcome to Ryan, the magical world of steampunk waifus. And you just have like a bunch of like pillows nailed to the wall that have like welding goggles like wrapped around the head. You put like Dickies jumpsuits on them and shit. I've recently upgraded and installed my newest piece. It's a real doll, you see. It's better than
It's
those.
on top of my chrome bed.
My chrome bed.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to think about chrome in a steampunk world, though. I think everything would be like
everything's
eroded and shit.
That's true. Chrome's more like future, where steampunk is more like rustic. Everything's like looks rusty and like bronze. Bronze is steampunk.
Are you thinking of like a Shadow Watch, like dystopian future or something? That's like steampunk.
Yes.
So you're saying like in the future humans revert back to using steam power?
Yeah,
everything's like huge and clunky, like a fucking Dr. Seuss contraption.
Yeah, that's why the watch takes up an entire
like crank
arm.
it up, shook it, and it's just like just fucking
good.
rambling down the road.
Yeah.
Oh god, that sounds like a fucking nightmare.
Yep.
Instead of like having like a modern like Glock handgun, it's like everyone has like flintlock pistols and like knives made from just like a piece of flat steel that they like ground an edge to.
I feel like there would be a lot of like Rube Goldberg devices all over the place. Like when you would go into somebody's house, like if the alarm system would be like, it would be like a little like broom that gets knocked over when you open the door, and it like lands on a button that puffs a piece of like a feather into the air, and then that goes across the room and goes into a net that pulls down like something that drops a bowling ball that goes down the wall, and then the bowling ball drops on like the robber's head as they walk into the door.
It's like a giant mouse trap board game where like a big cage just like falls down over them. And the fucking man flips through the air into a bathtub.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, it flips the robber that's robbing your house into the bathtub that's or the pool that's in the backyard.
Oh my god! Next to the windmill.
Yeah, next to the windmill. Birds. Yeah. And then like that the clock turns.
Man, I want you to be that. I want you to be that guy like so bad.
I don't know if this is starting to be impossible.
I actually
I don't know if I can build.
I want to like make a fan art of like you as that guy with the big mustache
like
and the dead
at the
birds
top
and
of
shit.
the windmill, like just looking out over the giant.
Gaze upon my windmill.
Gaze upon my windmill and my giant hourglass contraption that tells time.
Are you saying it tells time? It tells one whole day.
This is my waifu. Her name is Yuki.
She is my life partner.
And although she may be cold, I love her anyway. It keeps my head cool in the summer months.
Oh man.
Oh man. Yeah. Yeah, that's weird. Man, I can't believe that Yuki was like the only like the most Japanese sounding name. I was like, yep, that's the most Japanese generic sounding name I can think of.
Yeah, isn't the like animated like singer like you know what I'm talking about? The girl that's like
Hatsune Miku?
Oh, Miku. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought it was Yuki something. But no, I mean
no, I'm sure there's plenty of Yukis though.
Oh yeah. Plenty of Yukis to go around.
Yeah, any Yuki you want.
Hey, we got Yukis flying off the shelves over here. You want a Yuki? Come and get it. You get a Yuki. You get a Yuki. You get a Yuki.
Oh, what time is it? Oh, shit. I was going to say, like, my steampunk watch.
My arm watch.
My arm watch has run out of steam. No.
Oh, man. So, yeah, we learned about the origin of watches, but you know what I'm really interested in? Why are watches so darn expensive?
Oh, you know what?
Because if you get like a quote-unquote fancy wristwatch, you'd probably be in the bank for about 10 G's.
Why are watches so darn expensive? Oh, people also ask why are watches so overpriced?
The first thing that came up actually says darn in it. It says discover why Breitling watches for men are so darn. Actually, they missed the R. It just says for men so darn expensive. Coming straight from luxurymenswatch.com. Oh, boy.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Oh, it seems to be a rain shower. It seems to be Harrison Ford on this website page.
Maybe he's the only person who can afford one of these watches.
Go back down a little bit, and it says for prices in the range of 5,000 plus, quartz movement is a joke. Honestly, a complete joke. Watchmakers for the aforementioned brands go through painstaking efforts to carefully craft automatic movements. The precision is uncanny. Interesting enough, Daniel Wellington keeps excellent time as well. I don't see a direct answer in that part. Let's sum it up.
That's what we need.
Let's do that, Ryan. So sorry to disappoint. There is not really one tangible reason for luxury watches to cost more than a mid-sized sedan. Luxury itself can be considered a brand because it encompasses Breitling, IWC, Rolex, and Omega. This luxury tier of watches carry a, number one, perceived sense of value. Number two, host of premium materials and design. So, bottom line, if you want to just tell the time, get that $10 Casio. Cheers, Miles. Okay, Miles, thanks for nothing, you fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. Like, it's seeming like he's just saying it's just a status symbol, and there's no reason it's that expensive, which is probably partially true. But I would think that, like, a handcrafted watch would be kind of expensive compared to, like, something that's mass-produced or digital. Like, I'm guessing it's, like, a handcrafting kind of thing. Like, it's like...
Yeah.
How much is a handcrafted watch? Maybe that'll... Oh, okay.
Oh, God. One of them is $150,000.
Yeah. $349,700.
What the fuck? I don't understand how they're that much. Here, there's one that says, why are watches so expensive? From Aboligal.
A blog to watch.
Oh, a blog. I can never read the stuff that's like all jammed together. It's like a bunch of words.
Blogtowatch.com.
Yeah. In the URL I meant. That's what I was looking at.
Ah, okay.
I hate when they're like in the first person.
Oh,
okay.
Here we go.
Watches can be expensive to make and develop. That's number one.
Oh, here we go. A good timepiece can take between a few days to many months to produce. That would increase costs, I would assume.
Oh, yeah.
Even brands with high demand often cannot get enough product to market. The problem creates increased market demand and a bottleneck of production. Many brands would like to make more watches than they do, but this isn't always easy or cost effective. High demand is a problem people want to have and is due to the time and complexity involved in making high-end timepieces. I like that they call it a timepiece. I feel like saying, like, I've got a timepiece is way better than just saying I've got a watch.
Sure.
It sounds cooler. This is related to the concept that watches are expensive due to low production and expensive suppliers, which I discussed below.
Movements aren't always cheap is the next reason. It says when you are talking about very high-end exotic mechanical movements, the price per movement can be in terms of tens of thousands of dollars.
Whoa! To make it move?
Yep. The now defunct but famed B&B concept movement maker went out of business because brands couldn't afford to pay the bills after buying such expensive components for their timepieces. Holy shit. B&B concept wasn't overpriced, but cost of most of their complex movements simply cost that much. For this reason, high-end watches with complex movements are made more often than not in very limited quantities because it is too expensive for brands to have these watches sitting around unsold due to their cost of production.
Oh, okay. So they can only make a couple.
Yeah, you can only make like... It's sort of like how airlines will like oversell tickets to a flight.
Yeah.
Because if people don't show up, then they still have a full plane, essentially, or at least a fully paid for trip.
Yeah.
So the watch manufacturers are actually making less than what the current demand for them is because they can only move so many. And it sounds like it's a very highly engineered piece of a machinery.
Yeah.
So that because it said that some of the manufacturers said that it actually does cost that much to make these. So they're only selling them to manufacturers when they absolutely need them.
Yeah, so basically they don't have any on the shelf. It's like there's one, and then when you buy that, it's like they make another one kind of thing. Like it's almost like they're...
Well, probably not just one. I'm sure they have like maybe a dozen or so. Like that seems like it would be a lot, but...
Yeah, but it's almost like you're getting a one-of-a-kind thing.
Yeah, well, you literally are.
Yeah.
I mean, because if they're that precisionally handcrafted, then... And I assume that the body of the watch and what do you call it, strap, the wrist,
like the leather strap, the wrist strap,
I'm sure those are like, because a lot of them are metal, or like maybe they're fucking like solid gold or silver. And that's another thing, like the materials, obviously, if you have a half a pound worth of silver in one watch, like that's probably pretty expensive right there.
Yeah,
and then it has to
like
be
diamonds encrusted in it.
Yeah, and then the diamonds would make it obviously tens of thousands more.
I don't know if I'd want diamonds in my watch though.
Oh, many do, and I don't get it. If I had a bunch of money, I feel like I would just
give it away.
I wouldn't just give it away. I mean, I'd definitely give some of it away, but I would mostly buy like stuff that I think is like cool shit or like fun, like dirt bikes and like vehicles and stuff.
Oh, like
I wouldn't be buying.
Know that if we were rich, we would be buying that shark submarine, so we could go. So you and I could go on a submarine adventure.
Oh man,
Imagine a speed submarine adventure.
That has to be multi-million-dollar vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. But imagine what we could do.
Yeah, we'd buy
be a shark.
We'd buy the shark thing so we could immediately kill ourselves in it.
Yeah. Well, we probably would. I feel like you have to have some kind of license.
Those have to
for
be
that.
fucking dangerous to
drive.
man.
Speedboats are dangerous.
No,
That's
but
a speedboat that can go underwater.
I would definitely have like dirt bikes and motorcycles and like old muscle cars and stuff. Like I wouldn't get like a watch that costs $400,000. Like that seems like a bad way to, because it doesn't matter where you are. Like somebody's just like, ooh, that's a nice watch. You're like, yeah, I spent most of my lottery winnings on it.
Yeah. If you
I'd rather
went to a party with a $400,000 watch, people would probably be like, what an idiot.
Yeah, I would rather have like a dope house and like a bunch of fun vehicles and stuff.
He could have like paid for, you could pay for like the mortgage on 4 people's houses
with your one watch.
With your one watch, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, easier said than done, right, Ryan? for your everyday materialist, I suppose.
That's true. I mean, if you want to buy a $400,000 watch, go do that. And please sponsor us.
I like how number 4 says most watch brands want to be luxury brands.
Well, yeah. It's like, why would you make less money when people...
So you're just like flooding the market with more expensive bullshit and like trying to edge out other companies that are barely staying in business as it is.
Yeah, man, the watch game is probably savage. You know, trying to
Ugh.
like the luxury watch brands like Rolex versus.
I bet there's like some investigative journalism
Fossil or something.
documentary.
I don't know.
I bet there's like a documentary about like the
watch
watch.
wars.
Yeah, like sort of how there was like Tiger King.
Oh yeah.
Or it was like kind of like
you wanna pitch it to Netflix and see if we can get it. We can do all the research and go
watch wars.
Yeah, we can go to all the different watch companies and be like, so
ooh,
you have the
I'll be the fat cameraman, Ryan.
Oh, and I'll interview them. Yeah, man.
Watch wars. That probably exists in some form or another.
We've heard that Fossil has been on the low trying to sneak into Rolex's facilities.
Fossil?
To
like
see what they've been up
like
to.
the mall brand store? Oh my god.
Yeah, dude. Well, what we got to look up what the most expensive watch brands are.
I already read them earlier.
But did we there's got to be what's the most luxury?
I was more, I mean, we already saw that they go up into the hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like, I don't really care about the specific brands, which I did list them earlier in that other article. I
like number 7 just says you don't know any better. like that's why watches are so expensive.
Yeah, it says, oh, no, go ahead. Anything else interesting in this article?
No. Is it worth it? In the end, an expensive watch is worth the money, in quotes, when looking at a few factors. First, does the quality match the cost? If you were getting a $500 quality for $1,000, the watch isn't worth it. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Second, does the market justify the price? Are other people paying this amount for similar or the same watch? Well, this is just like if you're buying anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, let's.
How is the resale market or prices being valued at auction? I
don't think it's important, man. I don't think
a watch
it's
with
worth
the name of Cartier will cost more than the exact same watch without the name Cartier on it. So there it is. Is the name worth it to you? So you could potentially get a $400,000 watch for $80,000 potentially. Because really the movement is what makes it like a highly engineered, like handcrafted piece in a way. I mean, the body obviously can be handcrafted or, encrusted in diamonds or whatever, but
that's true. Yeah, the strap and the watch itself are probably completely different. I bet like a designer strap could make a watch go up in price like crazy.
Well, and I'm sure that is
It's
handcrafted as well.
Yeah, probably.
So that's a lot of material, like precious resources and time and precision engineering for the movement. Which the one thing I was really interested in was like how they work, but you can search for the most expensive watch.
I want to know what the most expensive watch ever sold was. Oh, okay. A Patek Philippe. A watch sells for $31 million, making it the most expensive wristwatch ever auctioned. Whoa. Okay, the sale tops a previous record set in 2007 for a Rolex Daytona once owned by Paul Newman, which sold for $17.7 million. Holy crap, so this is the most expensive watch of all time.
I wonder what year it was made.
Patek Philippe?
I bet it's from like the 1600s.
Okay, I could like...
Just go on that article.
Oh, this...
I'm sure it'll say. The steel... Oh, wait. No.
It looks cool as fuck.
Is that the exact one, though? I don't think that's...
This is, yeah.
Oh, it is?
I think so.
It says the buyer of the watch has not been identified, but there must be a way to say when it was made.
The Patek Philippe Grandmaster chime reference 6300A-010 is the only one of its kind that will be made in stainless steel. Oh, okay, so there's other ones, but they're not in stainless steel.
Whoa.
So this is the only one of that kind.
I'm surprised I was surprised it wouldn't say like what year it was made or like where it came from.
I'll just type it in. Patek Philippe time period.
Nailed it.
Got it.
No, not really. I was wondering about that specific watch, but
Oh, okay.
I guess we'll never know.
Dude, we could know. We have the exact number.
Yeah, the 6300A-010.
Yeah. I guess I'll take that code. I'll type it in to the Google. And I'm typing in that and then year. Year.
There we go.
1920. The
Shit.
roaring 20s.
I thought it was going to be way older than that. That's crazy. So that leather strap, like that's probably the actual strap that it was made with.
Probably, yeah. And it's only that expensive because there was only one made of stainless steel, and that's the only stainless steel one.
Pretty dope.
Pretty cool.
So how does it work?
You want to know how it works.
Yeah, just one. That's a pretty reasonable thing to want to learn about watches.
Yeah. How does a watch work? This could open an entire door.
Also, before we recorded, you mentioned a word that has to do with what we're talking about, and I don't believe we ever even informed the listeners about that.
Oh, the study of watches is called horology.
Oh, don't say that, Ryan.
Horology.
You're gonna get canceled.
Oh, okay. Horology.
Don't say that, Ryan. What? You're gonna get canceled.
Horology is the study and measurement
You're
of
gonna
time.
get canceled, Ryan. You can't be going out there on the internet and saying that, Ryan.
There's nothing wrong with saying horology. It's perfectly fine.
You're gonna get canceled.
We're not gonna get canceled.
Don't say that, Ryan.
We're gonna tell them how a watch works. We can't get canceled giving out information like that that the people need to hear. It's the most important part of a watch.
A mechanical watch is driven by a mainspring, which must be wound either periodically by hand or via a self-winding mechanism. A device called an escapement releases the watch wheels to move forward a small amount with each swing of the balance wheel, moving the watch's hands forward at a constant rate. Ooh, baby!
I kind of want to see some pictures here.
I'm sure there's some nice old diagrams.
Dang.
Have you ever like busted open a shitty clock, like, and it's just like, it looks so fucking cheap and easy to make, like that diagram there?
This?
Yeah, that like reminds me of how the inside of like a kitchen clock that you get at the dollar store looks.
Yeah.
There's like 5 cogs and like a little battery, like circuit,
And everything's made of plastic.
Yeah. Yep.
Even the battery's made of plastic, and you're like, how does this even work?
How does this magical plastic battery work? Oh, there's a diagram right there that looks. Oh, even the complex watch one looked pretty cool.
Where is that?
It was on the previous picture. Oh, that one. See the gold? I think that's an actual watch. Oh, yeah. How does a watch work without a battery? I'll tell you how. It works with a ratchet. It works with a barrel arbor. It works with a click spring. It works with a click. It works with a spring barrel. It works with a barrel. It works with a third wheel. It works with a third wheel pinion. It works with the fourth wheel. It works with a fourth wheel pinion. It works with the escape wheel pinion. It works with the escape wheel. It works with the entry pallet. It works with the pallet staff. It works with the exit pallet. It works with the pallet. It works with the rollers. Looks at the collet. Works with the stud. Works with the ballet. Works with the balance spring. Works with the balance staff. Works with the center wheel. Works with the center wheel pinion. Works with the crown wheel. Works with the plate.
And that's how it works. That's how a watch works.
I literally
everyone.
named every piece.
Yeah. So you just put all that together and you got yourselves a watch.
Yeah, you just learn. You go to the library, you take out a couple books on alchemy, then you go find all these cogs and pinions and shit, and you fucking throw them up in the air, and boom, you got a watch.
Yeah, there you go. That's how it's done.
Oh man,
strapped to your arm, go on with your day.
You're also gonna have to learn alchemy now too, Ryan. So you can.
So I'm gonna be an alchemist.
Fuck your real dolls in
yeah,
your backyard in the windmill.
I don't want to do that, dude. They're wearing like suits of armor. I don't want to go anywhere near them. That's dangerous.